Hi everyone, we are going to be doing the second little dragon on this page from Magical Worlds, and if you remember or if you watched yesterday's, we used this little palette here for this one and then other colours for the accessories. And so for this dragon we're going to be using this palette, so I'm just trying to identify which colours are in this palette. I'm struggling to work out whether this is blue or green in the background. It is the blue. I think we've got the lighter blue, which I use the horizon blue, with the green, the sort of brighter green, which is the leaf green, and then the sort of lilac-y colour. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's called lilac. So we've got those three first for our dragon, so we're going to crack on with that, and then we'll add in the other colours when we do the accessories. So in case you didn't see yesterday, this is a practical colour combinations book. Links are in the description to where you can get it, but there's also a flip through on the channel if you want to see it. Right, here is our dragon. So we've got these three colours, so I'm going to have a little look. They feel like an unlikely trio. But I'm thinking I quite like to do tummy. Should you do tummy and head the same colour, then the body a different colour, and the splodges? We did the tummy in the light blue there, so we do this tummy different. Let's start with the lilac. Do the tummy in the lilac. There we go. That's my thoughts anyway. So I'm just going to get on and make a start here. Now, as I said yesterday, if you don't have the Holbeins, I do have some conversion charts free on my Ko-fi. You can follow the links in this video description to download those. Or if you have the pastel tint, Castle Arts pastel tint, or the Brute Funa macarons, you might find you have the same colours in those sets because they are sort of copies of the Holbein. Right, let's do the head as well. The heads look the same, don't they? Almost identical. Sometimes I wonder if Johanna draws everything, or if sometimes she does a bit of a cut and paste job. It doesn't matter. I know she would, she used to do a lot of tracing, I think, when she first started, but I suspect that nowadays she does a little bit more computery thing with some of her items. I don't know if she would with this one particularly. I think she does with when she does the symmetrical design, you know. Okay, so that is just a light layer on both. I'm now going to sharpen it and put a few sort of darker areas on. I think it will show up a little bit with this particular shade. I've just realised I've got no light on. I can't see what I'm doing. So I'm thinking under the arm here. The arm would be casting a bit of a shadow. I mean, we could use a grey for this, like we did. Oh, well, that's a shame. That's broken. Woo! That's rare. I don't think I've ever had that happen before on a Holbein. I'll give it a sharpen. Okay, so I think it might be because I'm leaning at such a funny angle. I really need to pop a book under here. Hang on, I've grabbed one. I've got one right next to me. There we go. Just put another Johanna book underneath, and it provides a platform so that the angle, there's better, much better. A bit there, I'm thinking. And then on the head, I'm going to put a bit more at the bottom and edge, I think. Like that. Make the nose a bit darker if I can. And then look, this is drawn like that. I'm thinking, should that be a bit darker? Just because of the way it's drawn. There we go. Now, am I doing the body green or blue? I'm thinking if he's got green spots, he might look a bit poorly. Whereas if he's got blue spots, I think that might look a little bit less. I don't know. Maybe my logic is flawed, but I'm going to do a green body, leaf green. And again, I'm just going to put down an evenish layer as even as I can. So I hope everyone's well today. Sunny day today. I haven't been out yet. I will be going out after lunch. I thought I'd just film a little bit before lunch. It's midday actually. Because my boys haven't long gone. I did film one video earlier, and then I got carried away with doing a few other things. But I've been really busy lately because I've had lots of ideas of things that I want to do. So I've been trying all sorts of different things, and it's made me busy. But it's okay as long as I don't mind being productive and busy, as long as I don't feel hassled by it, which I don't. But I haven't been fitting in quite as much walking, so I'm still managing to do a walk a day, but in the last few weeks I've been doing a couple of walks a day sometimes. I haven't been doing quite that amount, so I could probably do with doing a little bit more. But another thing is it's got really hot, and I don't like walking in the heat. So unless I go out early, I don't really feel like going, but I have to go today. There are some things that I need to buy, so that's good. Foodie things and milk, really, probably about it. I do need to just check what I've got, but it's not exactly exciting, is it? But it's fine. It means I have to go out, and I think husband wants to come, so that's nice. Get him out for a little walk. And so that's all good. And as it gets warmer, you do tend to see more wildlife along the canal path, which is always nice, or on the water. Dragonflies and butterflies particularly, and other insects when it's warm. My son isn't happy about that. He was asking me if I could get some insect screens for his Velux window because they're always coming in. I can absolutely see why he wants them. I have made a few inquiries, but haven't heard back, because Velux sell them, but you have to do your own measuring and fitting. I don't trust myself to do that. So there's a local company near here that sort of make and fit blind. So I've asked them if they can do something like that. They haven't got back to me yet. And I'm also waiting to hear back from the various quotes for our broken solar inverter, which I spoke about in a previous video. I don't know if it was the other dragon one though. But anyway, yes, that was an experience and a half, shall we say. Now I'm going to use my light blue now, this horizon blue, for the spots, and we'll see what it looks like. It's a very interesting colour combo. Not one that I would use myself without, well, I just wouldn't pick these colours and put them together. So it's quite fascinating. It's pushing me way out of my comfort zone, which is it looks like I'm doing the spines with the same colour. Yeah, it is interesting. I did read this review of the book that I'm using for my colour palettes, which said the colours are all really random. I might as well just throw some colours up in the air and catch them and then just use those. I disagree. I don't think they are just random. It made me chuckle, but these three are interesting, to say the least. But you know, as I say, it's pushing me out of my comfort zone, which I really like, and means that I don't really have to think too hard about colours that I'm choosing, although I have to pick where I'm putting each one, of course, but it's not too taxing. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna make the tail purple. Well, it's lilac, isn't it? Let's use the correct name, so the lilac for the tail. And then the wings. I think I'm going to do a lilac outside and then put blue in those gaps. the right word. Anyway, yeah, I've been productive today. I've still got a few jobs to do, but it's all good. This video being one of them, so that's good. Now the blue, the horizon blue, goes in the gaps, and I'm going to try and make it darker to light. I don't know if it's going to show up with this pale colour. I'm going to make it more intense there and less up to here. I think I can see that. Sometimes I wonder if I'm imagining it. Because I know what I'm trying to achieve. But anyway. There we go. Now I'm going to introduce the other colours in from the palette of 5. Whoops. Yeah. So what we did yesterday was we picked this one for the dragon, and then we added in the other 2 that were here for the rest of the page. So I'm going to do that here. So again, we've got the sort of cream colour, this tiny stripe here, and we have got the darker blue. So we've got these 2 to add in. I'll tell you what they're called, just to clarify. This one is the cream, ivory, sorry. And this one is the forget-me-not blue. I'm going to use the blue for the balloons. We've got a little gap here to show where they need a little white mark for shine. So that makes it a little bit easier in some ways, although I usually like marking on my own mark with white pen, but this is, because this is quite a pale colour, might not have really showed up anyway, so I'm going to just colour around that and leave that white. And I'm going to try and fade towards the middle so that our balloon looks a little bit more rounded, because it would be more shadowy on the edges than the centre. Like that. I'm going to do the other 2 in the same colours. Yeah, I'm going to save that ivory colour for our butterfly. Don't just have to use the ivory. Not sure. I'm thinking about that one. And what we did yesterday with that pale ivory is we added a little bit of the darker yellow because it was a little bit too pale. So we might do the same thing today, just to make it a little bit, stand out a little bit from the page more, because this paper isn't exactly white. So if you use, it's probably a very similar colour to the actual ivory pencil. I'm just going to do that bit there so that I don't forget. I'm just going to fill it in. I'm not going to do anything particularly special with it. And then we'll finish this one. Like that. Right. I'm wondering whether to do a blue body and an ivory and yellowy wings. I think I'll do that. I'm using it a little bit paler so that it doesn't look the same as that. And now I'm going to use the ivory. I can do all the wings with this, the whole thing, lightly. Then we're going to grab our cream and add a little bit more, just checking it sharp. So what I want to do is make it darker in these parts here. I haven't decided what I'm doing with that yet. Like that, and just put a little bit on the ends. There we go. So it looks a bit yellowy, hopefully you can see. Now those little dots, now in the other one I only used the other extra colours and accessories. I didn't use any other colour. So I think I'm going to have to use the blue on top. Here. Yeah, it's not going to show up very much. Yeah, that's fine. Now I'm going to grab, remember yesterday I used a little bit of grey and a little bit of white just to add a few highlights and shadows. We'll see what we're going to do. I'm going to use the Cool Grey 3 and I'm going to put a little bit of shadow under this head here. Like that. I want some between these wings. Just a line, really, like that. And then in places where there might be a shadow on the body, there, under this arm, remember when I coloured it, I sort of mentioned it. Might do it grey. I think that's our dragon. Not going to do any on the butterfly, but I'm thinking maybe just a little bit where these balloons are overlapping as well. Like that. Oh, ear. The ear. Let's have a look. He's not too bad, is he? It's a very interesting colour combo. I'd be interested to know whether you would have done it a bit differently, because I think purple and blue would have gone better on this body, but I didn't want a green head because he looked like he's going to be sick. So yeah, maybe you would have done it. Maybe you would have just done a green tail. That looks like a leaf. It's an interest, or green wings, green bit there, and then yeah, could have done that. And just trying to think of alternatives, but I think he's okay. It's just so different to anything I would have done before, and that's the joy, isn't it? That's why we're using the book, to get something a bit different. Now tomorrow's we've got a crown. Right, how am I going to do a crown when I've got no gold? Ooh, no brown. That's going to be such a challenge, but we're going to worry about that tomorrow. I'm sure I'll come up with something. Crowns don't have to be gold. It could be a paper crown, you know, then they're any colour. Anyway, thank you for watching today. I do hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.